Introduction: the procrastination problem. Procrastination is a universal challenge, affecting students, professionals, and lifelong learners alike. It's the invisible barrier that stands between our intentions and our actions, often leaving us trapped in a cycle of guilt and frustration. Whether it's putting off an assignment, leaving revision until the last minute, or delaying the start of a big project, procrastination can sap our motivation and make even the simplest tasks feel insurmountable. The reasons for procrastination are complex, rooted in our emotions, habits, and even our perceptions of time and self-worth. Yet despite its prevalence, procrastination is not insurmountable. By understanding why we procrastinate and adopting practical strategies to combat it, we can break free from its grip and unlock our full potential. The journey to overcoming procrastination begins with awareness, followed by small, actionable steps that pave the way to greater productivity, deeper learning, and ultimately, a more fulfilling relationship with our goals. Understanding your brain: why we procrastinate. To tackle procrastination effectively, it's essential to understand the underlying mechanisms of the human brain that drive this behavior. At its core, procrastination is not a reflection of laziness or lack of willpower, but rather a complex interplay between our emotional and rational selves. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and self-control, often struggles to override the limbic system, which seeks immediate pleasure and comfort. When faced with a daunting or unpleasant task, the brain interprets it as a threat to our well-being, triggering avoidance behaviors. This is why we often find ourselves scrolling through social media, tidying up, or engaging in any other distraction instead of tackling the work at hand. Additionally, perfectionism, fear of failure, and low self-esteem can amplify procrastination, as we hesitate to start something that might expose our vulnerabilities. By recognizing that procrastination is a natural, protective response of the brain, we can approach it with compassion and curiosity rather than self-criticism. This understanding empowers us to implement targeted strategies that align with our brain's tendencies, making it easier to initiate action and sustain momentum. The 5-minute rule: getting started is half the battle. One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is by leveraging the 5-minute rule, a deceptively simple yet powerful technique. The premise is straightforward. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. This small commitment lowers the psychological barrier to getting started, as the brain perceives the task as manageable and non-threatening. More often than not, the hardest part of any endeavor is simply beginning. Once you've started, you'll frequently find that the initial resistance fades away, and you become absorbed in the activity, often continuing well beyond the original 5 minutes. The magic of the 5-minute rule lies in its ability to bypass the brain's avoidance mechanisms by tricking it into action. It's not about achieving perfection or completing the entire task in one go. Instead, it's about building momentum and proving to yourself that you are capable of taking the first step. By consistently applying this rule, you'll cultivate a habit of action that gradually diminishes the power of procrastination over your life. Gamify your learning. Make studying a game. Transforming the study process into a game can revolutionize your approach to learning, making it engaging, enjoyable, and intrinsically motivating. Gamification taps into the brain's reward system, leveraging elements such as points, levels, challenges, and rewards to sustain interest and drive progress. By setting clear goals, tracking your achievements, and celebrating milestones, you create a sense of accomplishment and forward momentum. For example, you might award yourself points for each completed chapter, unlock new levels by mastering different subjects, or compete with friends to see who can maintain the longest streak of study days. Incorporating game mechanics like timers, badges, and leaderboards adds an element of friendly competition and accountability. This playful approach not only reduces the monotony and stress often associated with studying, but also fosters a growth mindset, encouraging you to view challenges as opportunities for improvement rather than threats. By making learning fun and interactive, gamification helps you stay motivated, persevere through difficult topics, and ultimately achieve better results. Active recall and spaced repetition explained. Effective learning is not just about passively absorbing information. It's about actively engaging with the material in a way that strengthens memory and understanding. Active recall is a powerful technique that involves testing yourself on what you've learned, forcing your brain to retrieve information from memory. This process reinforces neural connections and makes the knowledge more durable. Instead of simply reading notes or highlighting textbooks, you might use flashcards, practice quizzes, or teach the concept to someone else. Complementing active recall is the principle of spaced repetition, which involves reviewing information at strategically increasing intervals over time. This method takes advantage of the brain's tendency to forget, spacing out review sessions just enough to trigger retrieval and consolidation without allowing the memory to fade completely. Together, active recall and spaced repetition provide a scientifically proven framework for mastering complex subjects, improving retention, and reducing the need for last-minute cramming. By integrating these techniques into your study routine, you'll transform the way you learn, making it more efficient, effective, and enduring. The Pomodoro technique for laser focus. Maintaining focus in a world full of distractions can be a daunting challenge, but the Pomodoro technique offers a simple yet highly effective solution. Developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, this method breaks work into short, focused intervals, typically 25 minutes, called Pomodoros, followed by a short 5-minute break. After completing 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. This structured approach capitalizes on the brain's natural attention span, helping you avoid burnout while maintaining a high level of concentration. The act of setting a timer creates a sense of urgency, encouraging you to work with purpose and minimize distractions. The regular breaks provide an opportunity to recharge, reducing cognitive fatigue and keeping your mind fresh. Over time, the Pomodoro technique trains your brain to enter a state of deep work more readily, boosting productivity and making even the most challenging tasks feel manageable. By adopting this technique, you'll not only accomplish more in less time, but also develop a healthier, more sustainable approach to studying and working. Creating a distraction-free study zone. The environment in which you study plays a crucial role in your ability to concentrate and retain information. A cluttered, noisy, or chaotic space can impede focus and increase the likelihood of procrastination. To maximize your productivity, it's essential to create a dedicated, distraction-free study zone that signals to your brain it's time to work. Start by choosing a quiet location with minimal foot traffic and away from common sources of interruption. Keep your workspace tidy and organized, removing unnecessary items that might tempt you away from your task. If possible, use noise-canceling headphones or play ambient background music to block out distractions. Turn off notifications on your phone and computer, or use apps that temporarily restrict access to social media and other time-wasting sites. Personalize your study zone with items that inspire and motivate you, such as a vision board, motivational quotes, or a comfortable chair. By intentionally designing your environment for focus, you create the optimal conditions for deep, meaningful learning and make it easier to slip into a productive mindset each time you sit down to study. Reward systems that actually work. Incentivizing yourself with meaningful rewards is a powerful way to reinforce positive study habits and maintain motivation over the long term. However, not all rewards are created equal. For a reward system to be effective, it must be immediate, desirable, and proportionate to the effort expended. Small, frequent rewards, such as a favorite snack, a quick walk outside, or a short episode of a beloved show, can help sustain motivation during long study sessions. Larger milestones, like finishing a major project or acing an exam, might warrant more significant treats, such as a night out with friends or a new book. The key is to align your rewards with your personal interests and values, making them genuinely motivating rather than obligatory. Additionally, it's important to strike a balance between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. While external rewards can jumpstart your efforts, cultivating an internal sense of satisfaction and pride in your progress is equally vital. By thoughtfully designing a reward system that celebrates your achievements, you create a positive feedback loop that makes studying more enjoyable and sustainable. How to deal with overwhelm. Feeling overwhelmed is a common experience, especially when faced with a mountain of tasks, looming deadlines, or complex material. The sense of being buried under an unmanageable workload can paralyze your progress and trigger a cycle of avoidance and anxiety. To break free from overwhelm, start by taking a step back and gaining perspective. Break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces, focusing on one step at a time rather than the entire project. Prioritize your tasks based on urgency and importance, using tools like to-do lists or the Eisenhower matrix to clarify your next actions. Practice self-compassion, recognizing that it's okay to feel stressed and that you're not alone in your struggles. Engage in mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling to calm your mind and regain a sense of control. Seek support from friends, family, or mentors when needed, and don't hesitate to ask for help or delegate tasks. Remember, progress is made through consistent, incremental effort, not by trying to do everything at once. By addressing overwhelm with patience and proactive strategies, you'll build resilience and confidence in your ability to handle whatever challenges come your way. Building a consistent study habit. Consistency is the cornerstone of effective learning and long-term success. While motivation can fluctuate from day to day, habits provide the structure and stability needed to make steady progress toward your goals. Building a consistent study habit begins with setting clear intentions and establishing a routine that fits your lifestyle. Choose specific times and locations for studying, and commit to showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Start small, focusing on short, regular sessions rather than marathon cramming, and gradually increase the duration as the habit takes root. Use cues or triggers, such as a particular song, a cup of tea, or a specific time of day, to signal the start of your study period, helping to automate the behavior over time. Track your progress and celebrate your successes, reinforcing the habit with positive feedback. When setbacks occur, view them as learning opportunities rather than failures, and adjust your approach as needed. By cultivating consistency through intentional habits, you'll transform studying from a sporadic chore into a natural, integrated part of your daily life. Conclusion. Embrace the joy of learning. At its heart, learning is a journey of exploration, growth, and self-discovery. While the pressures of deadlines, exams, and performance can sometimes overshadow the intrinsic rewards of acquiring new knowledge, it's important to reconnect with the joy and curiosity that fuel lifelong learning. Embracing the process means celebrating your progress, no matter how small, and viewing challenges as opportunities to stretch your abilities and expand your horizons. By applying the strategies discussed, from understanding your brain and leveraging practical techniques to creating supportive environments and rewarding your efforts, you can transform studying from a source of stress into a source of fulfillment and pride. Remember, the path to mastery is not a straight line, but a winding road filled with ups and downs. Each step, each setback, and each breakthrough contributes to your growth and resilience. So, give yourself permission to enjoy the process, to ask questions, to make mistakes, and to marvel at your capacity to learn and adapt. When you embrace the joy of learning, you unlock a lifelong source of empowerment, creativity, and possibility. If you've been listening to this video during a quick power nap, congratulations. You now have the essential keys to unlock your motivation and tackle any task. Your subconscious mind has absorbed these powerful techniques, preparing you to wake up refreshed and ready to put them into action.